One question I have for you that might tie into that is how do you maintain the stamina or finding inspiration for writing book after book over 30 years?
I have no trouble with stories. I have what I call the green room in my head, and there are characters in there that are sitting there doing this. When's my turn? When's my turn, lady? Come on, lady. Whereas I have some girlfriends who are writers who have a really hard time trying to come up with something different. But we all bring different stuff to the table. They may be stronger in other areas than I am. But I have no trouble coming up with, whether I can turn it in on time. Now that's a issue sometimes. But I got stories when when my last day on earth comes around, I'll be banging on the edge of on the inside of the urn going, wait, 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 I got, four more stories I need to write. So I think it's part of the imagination, and I have no trouble coming up with stories, which is good for me.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And what about maintaining a career part of the authoring for 30 years? Do you think there's a secret sauce for you and your peers who are still publishing 30 years later, as opposed to people who maybe started at the same time as you and aren't still publishing?
Yeah. I don't know how or why that is. People drop out, I think, for different reasons. Some people have health issues. Some people have family issues. Some people have personal issues. And then there's some of us, like I said, who are not qualified to do anything else. So we're just, writing, 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 writing. It's a it's a blessing. At least that's the way I look at it, to be able to do this for 30 years and still have people buying your books. I mean, that's the biggest thing, and even though, I've been at this a long time, I still worry. Are they gonna throw tomatoes at me this time? Is it gonna be terrible? And I try and make an effort not to write the same book twice.
Mhm.
I give my readers a different flavor, a different swagger, a different theme, every time. And because they will be truthful with me, which is a good thing.
Yes.
They will tell me if I'm writing crap, so because you want that. But I've been lucky so far. Not too many tomatoes have been thrown my way.
Well, not just lucky. I think there's a fair amount of talent and skill that goes behind it too.
Well, you try and be, humble about it
Yeah.
and not, well, yes, it's because I'm this and this and this and this. No, no, you're only as good as your last book. So
Well, and have you ever had to put out a book because of contract deadlines and stuff? Have you ever had to put out a book that you wished you had more time to work on? And you don't have to name it, but do you have advice
you know,
for authors
yeah, yeah, I
who
think we
might have
all
that?
we all would like a redo sometimes on some things. I have some books that I know are absolutely perfect and I could not have done more with. Some that I wish I had had another 2 weeks to play around with it. It would have been a lot bigger or a lot whatever. But yeah, I think but you can't go back. So you just have to sort of take the lessons that you learned or didn't learn and put those into the stories going forward.